Good morning and a very warm welcome to our Excellence Assembly on Wednesday the 8th of July. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the excellence of our children at Bethersden Primary School. As always, we've got a range of things to share with you and some lovely examples of the learning that's been taking place over the last week. As always, we'll start our first awards in Bumblebee class, which is our youngest children. Most of Bumblebee class now are either back or returning in the next couple of days. And it's so lovely to see their happy smiley faces and hear the noise from their classrooms and their bubbles outside. So our first award of the week in Bumblebee class goes to Aggie. Aggie, your class teacher, has spotted you working very hard this week, and they've been delighted with you in class with your lovely smile and how you've shown great confidence in answering lots and lots of questions. It's also been lovely to hear all the stories you've been sharing with them. You've had some amazing ideas for your writing English and shown some excellent learning in maths. So well done and keep it up, from Mrs Osborne, Miss Hoogan, Miss Finn and Mrs Grace. If you want to pause the video now, you can read some of Aggie's lovely writing and also sharing some of the creative ideas she's had over the past few days. Our second award of the week goes to Lexi. Lexi, you've really stepped up in your home learning last week, which has made us all very proud of you. You completed some excellent maths work on finding fact families. You've also done some wonderful writing in English and used great describing words for the scenes in your book Journey by using some wonderful adjectives. Keep up the good work. I know the team are very, very proud of you, Lexi. And that comes from Mrs Grace, Mrs Osborne, Miss Finn and Miss Hoogan. Again, you can pause the video here to have a look at some of the writing that Lexi's been doing all about her mermaid. Beautiful picture as well, Lexi, so well done to you. Now moving into year 2, it's our class's turn for our Excellence Awards this week. Our award here goes to Evan, and this comes from Miss Hughes and Mrs Taylor. They write, "I can't begin to tell you how proud I've been each and every day of the work you are producing from home. From beautiful written work, noting the great improvement in your handwriting, to wonderful math work packed full of explanations showing tremendous understanding. This week, however, seeing the enjoyment in your face as you performed your composition of a rainstorm, as we explored body percussion, was truly heartwarming to see. Thank you for all the hard work that you continue to put into all that you do, Evan. Well done and keep it up." Here you can see Evan's writing about unfamiliar vocabulary and also some of the work he's been doing on finding lines of symmetry in different shapes. We had hoped to bring you Evan's rainmaking, but unfortunately couldn't get the video to work, so I do apologise, Evan. We'll keep working on that and try to do something next week with it for you, so that everyone can enjoy your performance. Our second award of the week goes to Owen. Owen, you continue to exceed yourself in your learning, particularly thriving in your English work. You strive for perfection, whether that's in your physical presentation of your work or the quality and content of the writing itself. Your exploration of vocabulary this week has been great. Your ability to apply what it is that you've previously learned into your new task is commendable. Always looking for ways to push yourself even further. Keep up the fantastic work, Owen. Your team of Miss Hughes and Mrs Taylor are very, very proud of you. Again, you can pause the video here and take some time to read Owen's beautiful writing, including some work on his stringed instrument. Moving to Dear Class now, our awards this week have been chosen by Miss Bennett and Miss Simpson. And the first award of the week goes to Esther for continuing to deliver your home learning to a high standard. You've worked accurately in maths, demonstrating a good understanding of multiplication and division. Your team have also been blown away by your recent English work, where you've written a thoughtful short story and taken on the role of a character, performing your monologue with confidence. So well done, Esther. I'll let you see an example of Esther with her division. And if you pause the video now, you can take some time to read Esther's beautiful writing. There's some lovely vocabulary in there, Esther, so well done. Our second award of the week goes to Violet. Violet, the enthusiasm you've shown for your recent English work based on the book Journey. You have been challenging yourself to use more interesting vocabulary and adjectives in your writing and have written some thoughtful pieces considering the character's emotions. Your team have particularly enjoyed your monologue, where you use expression in your voice to show the character's feelings. So a big well done there from Miss Bennett and Miss Simpson. Here is some of the writing that Violet has been sharing with the class team this week, using nouns, adjectives, verbs and adverbs in there. Some great planning, some great thought, Violet, well done. Moving to Otter class, Mrs Moss, Mrs Green and Miss Mexter have been working hard this week to find just 2 people who've shone. And the first award of the week goes to Isabella. Isabella, your name could be on this certificate each and every single week. Your work is always completed to a high standard and you often challenge yourself further in your learning. Your autobiography was beautifully written, your use of language is simply stunning. Well, we also particularly enjoyed your object pictogram. What a fun way to show the data. You also regularly go on TT Rockstars and Spelling Shed, and you're an absolute pleasure to teach, Isabella, so well done. From Mrs Moss, Mrs Green and Miss Mexter. Strongly recommend you pause the video now and look at some of the work that Isabella has been writing. A nice recount there of her birthday. Our second award of the week goes to Teddy, who has recently rejoined our Key Worker bubble. Teddy, it was so lovely to see you back in school last week, and we're delighted that you are now going onto your classroom and completing the learning. You always have a positive outlook and try hard in all that you do. We've missed that lovely smile of yours, but pleased to see it again now. We're particularly impressed with your shape work this week, where you identified the properties and sorted them in different ways. You've also thought carefully about how the characters were feeling in a text. So a huge well done from Mrs Moss, Mrs Green and Miss Mexter. Here you can see Teddy sorting on the left hand side and looking at objects and their properties. On the right hand side thinking about 2 different characters from some of the text they've been exploring. Well done Teddy, and keep up good learning. Foxfield class this week, it's been good to see most of the children back, and Mr Clark has been working really hard getting them ready for year 6. The first award of the week goes to Emma. Emma, you made an outstanding contribution to the work we did on the importance that bees play in our environment and ecosystem. Amazing as all with the knowledge you gained through your excellent research. It's clearly a subject you feel passionate about, and this showed through in all of your work. Even our resident bee expert, Mrs Rosen, who works in the office, learned new facts about this really important subject. So well done. And Emma, your certificate doesn't just come from Mr Clark this week, it's also signed by Miss Rosen. So well done to you, and thank you for keeping up those facts. You can pause the video now and read the facts that Emma found out and was able to share with the class and Mrs Rosen in the office. Well done, Emma. Our second award of the week goes to Caitlin. Caitlin, you've shown a great work ethic throughout this week, applying 100% effort to every piece of learning. All your writing has been well thought through, and you've clearly applied what you've learned in the classroom to your writing and your maths. You're not afraid to seek advice and apply it effectively. Mr Clark was particularly impressed with your explanation of the symbiotic relationship, which you checked with me and that you fully understood before writing it. Mr Clark is incredibly proud of you, Caitlin, so keep up the good work, not just for the next couple of weeks, but as you move through year 6. Well done to you. Again, pause the video here and you can read all about the symbiotic relationship and why plants and bees form them. Lots of interesting facts in there, so well done. Fox class, our year 6s that are in school are busy working on their play with Mrs Green and Mrs Smith at the moment. So our awards this week are for the maths and English work that continues to happen in the mornings. This week the award goes to Sierra, who recently joined the school learning team again. And Sierra's wasted no time producing some lovely artwork linked to our whole school text journey. Sierra made a carefully painted clay globe and took the time with her piece to make sure it was right. And she should be rightly proud of it. Well done, Sierra, and keep it up. I'd like to make a couple of special mentions this week for children who've gone above and beyond in their learning. The first one is for George, who took on my challenge recently when he produced a number book in French. I challenged George to find the names of all the different images that he used for the objects in his counting book. George has accurately worked them out for me. I have checked with Mrs Moss, George, to make sure they're correct, and she assures me that they are. So a big well done to you. Your reward, I promised you, will be waiting for you when you return to school in September. Now, our second special mention goes to a young man in year 2. And every so often a piece of work crosses our way that just really sets the standard a lot higher and really impresses us. This is some work that was carried out by Charlie, who learned some facts and rehearsed them all about the Statue of Liberty in America. and he made a little video to share them with us, which I'm going to share with you now, so sit back and relax. I'm sure you will learn something new as I did from watching Charlie's video.
The Statue of Liberty is in New York in the USA. She weighs 225 tons and stands 305 feet and 6 inches tall. She is made of copper and was a gift from the French to the Americans in 1886. The statue is of the Roman goddess for liberty. She holds a torch above her head in her right hand and carries a stone tablet in her left hand. She wears a crown with 7 spikes, each representing a broken shackle and chain lie at her feet, which symbolise a recent abolition of slavery. Lady Liberty has become an icon of freedom and of the USA. She can be seen in symbol of welcome to immigrants arriving by sea. Thank you.
Arriving by sea. Thank you.
A big well done to you, Charlie, and a potential career in the travel industry there for you. Loads of lovely facts you have learnt for us. It's now time to celebrate our birthdays this week, and we have 3 to enjoy this week. So Albie, we wish you a very happy birthday for later in the week when you turn 7. I wish you a very happy day and hope you've got something special planned. Mrs Smith had an incredibly special birthday yesterday when she turned 21 for the 29th time. If you didn't take that in, Mr Clark had made some special cards which Mrs Smith really enjoyed reading from the class. I think Mr Clark got the age wrong by 10 years and I don't think it was in the best way possible, Mr Clark, so shame on you. Mrs Green is also celebrating her birthday later in this week, and we wish you a very happy birthday to everybody. Now, I'm hoping that yesterday you received the letter about classes for next year, so your child should by now know who their class teacher is. Unfortunately, we can't do our transition in the normal way at the moment, so we'll be hosting very special drop-ins this week for your children to meet their new class teacher. So they will be taking place on Friday at various times. The children who are moving into our class, so that's those who are currently in Bumblebee class, will be joining their new class team of Mrs Green, Mrs Moss, Miss Hugan and Mrs Grace at 10:30 on Friday morning. Dear class, you've got to wait until a little bit later in the day to welcome our new teacher, Mr Cook, to the school. Mr Cook joins us with many years of experience working in the primary schools and is coming with a lot of enthusiasm to start working at Bethersden. Both Mr Cook and Miss Simpson will be with you at 5 o'clock on Friday evening due to Mr Cook's current work commitments. Otter class, you have one to look forward to at 11:15 on Friday morning when you meet up with Mrs Solomon and Miss Mexter. And our brand new class, Badger class, will be taught by Miss Bennett and Mrs Smith, and your drop-in will be at 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Invitations will be sent out shortly. We do ask you to sign up for those just to make sure we have your permission for your child to take part. The children who are joining us next year for the first time in our reception class, which will once again be Bumblebees, will be having face-to-face meetings with the class team, which we really look forward to welcoming them into the school throughout the day on Friday. Fox class, you won't be needing one because you spent the last 2 weeks and have another 2 weeks to spend with Mr Clark. So I'm sure by now you've got to know each other really well and the expectations for September. We do look forward to welcoming all the children back in September, and the new class teams will make sure there's lots of contact in the meantime to help the children settle in as quickly as possible. Now, parent mail, just again, one reminder, just to say please do be checking your parent mails on a regular basis. You'll be receiving an invitation a little bit later on for the class drop-ins that we mentioned, and also in the coming days we'll be sending out some information regarding September when we have full details of how we'll be reopening. I can assure you we'll be reopening for all children from the 2nd of September, so please do be reassured that that is our intention. There may be some change to the school day in terms of drop-in collection times, which we're working hard to arrange now for you. One thing we'll also be doing next week is we'll be posting out reports to all families for the children's successful learning this year. So if you have changed address or changed any contact details over the period of lockdown, please do get in touch with us by phoning the office and let them know what your new contact details would be. So you can contact the school, as we're closed at the moment, in lots and lots of different ways. We encourage you to use our website for any information regarding the current closure and also home learning. Also, if you need any reminders about policies and procedures for the school when we reopen, the website address is there on screen now. We're posting lots of photos on our Twitter account each day, both of what's going on in school and examples of good learning from the children at home. And you can find us with the hashtag @BethersdenSCH. Our YouTube channel is where you're watching this video today, so we know you know where that one is. We have 2 dedicated email addresses at this time for families. The first one is for general inquiries and to get in contact with the school should you have any questions about home learning or the return to school. That email address is families@bethersden.kent.sch.uk. That is monitored throughout the school day and regularly in the evenings and weekends. Our second address, if you have any concerns about a particular family or a particular child, you can email us on safeguarding@bethersden.kent.sch.uk. That is monitored by myself and the team of safeguarding leads within the school. The information that goes onto that email address is held strictly confidential, and we do promise to help out as best we can, as quickly as we can. That account is regularly monitored. Also, now the school is open again, our office phone number is 01233 820 479. Thank you so much for joining us again today for our penultimate Excellence Assembly of the year. We look forward to celebrating our final one next Wednesday before a very special assembly on the last day of term for many children, and also as we think about how we're going to say goodbye to our Year 6s. Please do stay in touch with us. Please don't forget about us, because we certainly haven't forgotten about you, and we really look forward to welcoming you back in September. Take care for now, stay well, and we'll be back in touch very, very soon.